Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second round of the World Touring Masters Season 4. We are here at Laguna Seca. I'm Keith Barrick, joined by Liam Jenkins. Looking for some racing action today. We'll be calling it all with you. How are you today, Liam?
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Fine as always, and definitely, Laguna Seca, probably one of the trickiest tracks to master, with a field of over 30 drivers trying to all have the same objective and take a win. It's going to be one very interesting race to watch.
Definitely, and we're going to see a mixture of cars, their performance abilities at a track that basically is, you seem to always be doing something, and we'll see the differences between the Cosworths, the Alphas, the BMWs, the Supras. Everyone's going to have a little taste of glory here, as long as they can keep their car under them. Quickly, we'll throw up the spotter guide for you that was created by Ryan Callan, just to give you guys at home there a view into who is driving what car. The spotter guides are created by Ryan Callan, which gives you a full inside look into the skins of each of these cars from this classic era and all of the manufacturers of cars and everything. So without further ado, we will get ourselves into the game here. And what we're going to be pulling up is we are here at Laguna Seca now. With the grid is just slowly taking shape, and I know that we were just actually talking about this, Liam, that people kind of hold their cards close to their chest, and Toby Davis jumping to the top of the time boards when he was about, what, 6-7 tenths off for this entire time?
Yeah, it's all a part of the mind game, and I think at this track it definitely plays more crucial than ever, because you want to try and get inside your opponent's head, especially if you're championship rivals, guys like Toby, guys like Jesper, and especially guys like William Levesque there. They want to maybe try and hold their best, just say that, for instance, they act like they're running on higher fuel, maybe get about 4 or 5 tenths slower than what they can actually do, to try and provoke a different reaction out of their competitors, whether they will then take it easier in the practice knowing that they're a bit faster, and then in qualifying, just absolutely put in a hammer of a lap time, which can the whole field by surprise. But it's not just the leaders who do this either. We've got guys like Luis Fernandez getting up there in P7. So the whole field trying to have the same mindset here, and these kind of mind games do kind of work for some of them. But the question is, who's going to be the master of those and the track?
Absolutely, and we've also got the Jesper Talberg race 1 winner who did actually pull off. Well, sorry, he didn't pull off, but him and Toby Davis in round 1 actually together they had actually combined for an exact time in qualifying, meaning their time to the thousandth of a second was exactly the same. And I'm actually going to put up the picture here that shows you this is the exact outcome of qualifying from Spa, which is, I think it's 2 minutes 30 seconds there, 7-kilometer track. After all of that time, the top 3 were covered by no more than half of a hood of a car. And you can see Jesper Talberg in that Supra just edging out the Cosworth of Toby Davis, who then just edges out the BMW 635 of Florian Strauss. And it is a TPS first to actually have the exact same time on the timesheets. And that picture is worth 1,000 words right there, isn't it, Liam?
Oh, if not 1,000 more. Just probably the most incredible thing I've ever seen in any qualifying session throughout sim racing. Just for 2 championship rivals as well, but on a track as long as and as prestigious as Spa, you don't expect to see times that close. It may be within a tenth or 2 tenths, but to be literally identical on a track, so you say around 3.5 minutes a lap, is some feat to accomplish, and that really did make for one of the most interesting races we've seen here in a long time.
For sure, and actually clean as well too. As far as I know, there was not a single incident report from that race, and that's a pretty tough thing to do when you consider how many people were racing around the Spa circuit and how many people took the green flag. So it's great to see that we've had a great start to this World Touring Masters Series. No penalties awarded whatsoever from the first round, as Toby Davis using all of the track and then some, and decides to bail on that lap. The other thing is we'll quickly run into the championship standings right now as we have a bit of a lull. Liam, if you want to run them through the championship standings?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see there straight away that Jesper Talberg currently tops the time. He does at 30 points at the moment. Closely followed by Toby Davis, of course, the 2 giants who had a race of a lifetime. They're followed by Toby Davis' teammate Chris Butcher. Then McGregor follows them on 23 points. Then the hard charger and driver of the weekend last time out, Eric Tveit, who gained 12 positions to earn 21 points. He's followed very closely by the man who sits second at the moment in qualifying of William Levesque. Tommy O'Harless is just behind on 17 points, and he's very closely followed by Florian Strauss, on 15. Ivo Simons on 13, and Rivio, of course, returning last weekend, did a very good job, and he sits on 11, and then Bruno Salza Ferreira on 10 points, and then you've got Nilsson just behind him on 9, Ollie Merivold on 8, David Yuntin 7, and Matsuski on 6. So still a very close field, and after one race as well, you're obviously going to be the natural reaction. The field's very close, but just looking at the qualifying times now and how that reflects the actual championship standings, we're going to be on for a very, very crucial race. And I think with the field being as mixed and as competitive as this, if you just put them all into a hat and shake them out and then pull out a winner, you still won't get an accurate representation of what's going to happen out here today, I don't think.
No, and we saw that at Spa. These guys did battle hard. People came through the field. I know that Tveit, the hard charger, actually made up 12 positions from his starting spot. He qualified in the 17th position and ended up coming out with a 5th place, and very well could have come out with a 3rd if they had the cards fallen a little differently. But the man of the hour at the last event was Jesper Talberg, who dominated the field in commanding fashion with a 14-second lead over Toby Davis, who is not an easy guy to get away from, as he is now topping the timesheets, followed by William Levike. But these guys will be looking to, well, I mean, this is a second round. It's a relatively short season in World Touring Masters, and it's very important to basically get your points in now, because if anything happens mid-season, you're going to be struggling come the end at Mount Panorama for the season finale.
Yeah, indeed, and of course, as you said, it's a very tricky schedule as well, and I was actually talking to Toby a few days back about kind of his approach to the following races, and actually after the first race, and he wasn't too confident in kind of the battle between himself and Tolberg, but obviously just gone all-out aggression trying to prove himself wrong and actually secure a championship now. Of course, Davis still one of the most illustrated drivers here in TPS, yet to win a championship. And he's currently the fastest man on circuit with a 128.954, and he's faster than William Levite by just 0.02 seconds. So Toby Davis once again sitting on that top spot, looking to try and rectify and just get as many points in the bank as he can before the pressure really starts to heat up.
Yeah, and we all know that the pressure can get there. Once it starts to weigh down, as we're actually following the hard charger from round 1, Eric Tveit, and the only person driving the Rover this season. He's actually up in Sector 2 on Davis and Levike, so we could very well see him take the top spot here in this practice session. Now, obviously, this is going to be a qualifying run. This is going to be him pushing to its absolute limit as he comes into the final corner. Tveit showing that he's got a lot of moxie here, and he's got the potential to. Oh, he just loses it as we're talking about it. That commentator's curse is always seems to just weigh down on people. They can feel it. They can feel that heat on their shoulders as they're coming around a lot. But Talberg's headed out on track, and what we'll do is we'll follow with him for a moment, and we'll actually I'll walk you through a lap around Laguna Seca when he finally does get back here. But Talberg taking this Supra to new heights, pulling off that round 1 win in dominating fashion. Fast fact about this circuit, Laguna Seca: the quickest lap in history for TouringProSeries is Gregory DeGrief at a 1:29.571 in the Alfa Romeo, and that was from Season 2. The 2 race winners, it could be in Season 2 we ran 2 sprint races rather than 1 full semi-endurance event. It was DeGrief taking round 1 win, with Kelvin van der Linde in his short-lived history here at TouringProSeries took the round 2 win.
Yeah, and just looking at timing, William Levike actually gone quicker there than Toby Davis, and he's 2/10 quicker through the second sector. He's really taken a fight to Toby now. Levike had a good, strong race at Spa, but looking to try and go even stronger here, maybe even take a pole position. 6 minutes left in the session, but the question is, what sort of lap time can he do? We're about to find out as he is ready to cross the start-finish line, I think.
Well, we're still in practice right now. We do have we got 6 minutes remaining in the practice. This is where they're trying to set the tone for qualifying as we're running along with Jesper Talberg. Laguna here, you come up over the hill down into turn 1, hard braking zone downhill. It's very easy to get the brakes a little light and overheated coming downhill, but you come through 1 and 2. Use all the circuit, get back to the outside of the track for 3, use a little bit of the curb, come back across nice and smooth, don't want to hit the anti-cuts on the inside, carry your momentum. This is all about momentum through here. Now through 3, through 4, you're just lifting off slightly through 4, drift into the outside of the track, up into 5 as Talberg. This is a qualifying run for Talberg. It's good we're on board with him now. Coming into 6, 5. You come up the track. It's banked, so you can actually hook the car down the inside pretty good. But this corner here is key to the entire lap time. If you hit too much curb on the inside, you go wide. If you don't hit enough curb, you still go wide. So it's a very fine line. It's like threading a needle. Coming up to the famous corkscrew, you come up over the hill, the car gets weightless. You need to get on the power at the right time and not too heavy, otherwise you'll be sliding through the corkscrew, losing all your momentum down here into the sweeping left-hander with a little bit of banking to keep the car down the inside. As you come across into the penultimate corner, just drift the car in. You can see it gets a little bit light, weightless as you now approach the final corner. Talberg is going to be looking to take these guys down a notch from up front here. He was a 10th and a half up. He is now going to cross the line with what would be a 128.8, and it is only good for. It is good for to take the top spot down. Just a little delayed on the timing there, as Jesper Talberg shows his actual pace. Now his cards have been handed out. Hey, Liam?
Yeah, I think that was the perfect lap as well to spectate on. And you can see, really take the fight though. He left it late, 4 minutes in the session. I would have caught a lot of people off guard. That's exactly what we were talking about with those mind games. And you can see in that, it's already nearly a 10th of a second quicker than Toby Davis. So the likes of Toby, William and Evo will need to try and find something more. As look at that, Revaio gets himself up in there in P4 after 129.3. So these guys really starting to take it all on the track now. They've maybe had a bit of a conservative practice session so far, and now looking to just get those final qualifying simulation runs in.
We just had the server just went down, folks, so just please bear with us just for a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to, if you hold tight, we're just going to pop the Glory of Group A trailer on just while we get these issues sorted out, so please bear with us. Just a quick heads up, guys. We're just sorting out a small server issue here. We will be back in just a quick moment. So we will remain with the guide up here for you to get to know the rest of these cars. So please hold tight, and we will be back in just a moment. All right, everybody, we are back here from Laguna Seca for the second round of the World Touring Masters Season 2 event. Just small little technical error. We've sorted it out now. We were just awaiting to go into the qualifying session. So I will take this moment to give a plug to our sponsor for this season, SimRacingHardware.com. Manufacturers of the cutting-edge PC racing simulation hardware, anything from shift lights to overlays for your wheel. Pretty well anything that you can think of, they're making over there at Sim Racing Hardware. Brian Clancy, who does race in this series, was nice enough to put up a prize for the championship for this year. But unfortunately, because of all the business he's now getting, and his work schedule has kind of picked up, he was unable to attend this event. So thanks to Brian Clancy and to SimRacingHardware.com. If you haven't seen them already, be sure to check them out, because they can pretty well make anything for you that you can think of, and turn your sim racing rig into basically a one-of-a-kind shrine to this disgusting passion we all have, right, Liam?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, mine's just essentially a chair and a steering wheel. So.
Well, I think you need to get on over to Sim Racing Hardware and get yourself something that steps it up a little bit.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, actually, I think we did that question on the podcast. If you had $300, kind of what would you spend it to improve your rig? And I was thinking, well, basically just an actual chair instead of like an old wooden thing where, you know, you become numb after a while. But, I mean, comfort is quite a big part of sim racing, but definitely head over there. There was some great stuff to check out, and mostly it's at relatively good prices as well, so be sure to go give them, check them out and say TPS sent you and say hi. Yeah,
exactly. And what do we got coming up in the Green Flag Weekly, Liam?
The green flag is coming, it should be, by next Tuesday, I should imagine. Just doing the final planning today and sorting out the guests and everything. And then that should be available by next Tuesday. So you can view that on my YouTube channel at Liam Jenkins Sim Racing, or on www.greenflagpodcast.podomatic.com.
Definitely. I definitely check that out. I know that I download those. I listen to them when I go on my long, lonely drives. Keeps me very entertained. But we're back here at Laguna Seca now. We're just seeing the end of this kind of semi-join period for people to get back in here. We're just awaiting for the officials to send us into qualifying so we can actually see where these guys are going to line up. And Levesque has gone out here in this short little stint, and he's gone out and laid down a 1:28.7, which is by far the fastest time so far. So he'll be looking to take command of this event, seeing as he did miss the first round of this, or sorry, he did not miss the first round. He finished 6th in the first round, not quite as good as he was hoping for. So he'll be looking here to stamp his mark and hopefully jump up in the championship standings and possibly become a 2-time champion here in Touring Pro Series.
Yeah, indeed. So just getting ready for the final bit of practice to get underway. I think actually some of these drivers may try and use this to their advantage. While it can be a bit disheartening for a couple of them, or they may not agree with, like, you know, what the service going on, and while their mindset may not be in place, it does give a couple of those guys a bit further back in the field who aren't maybe as quick as they'd like to be a few more minutes, and a few more minutes of practice is vital. Every little metre of track where you can get extra practice on can really help you during the race as we go to qualify now. Look at the flurry of cars just flying round now, just down the pit lane. We spoke last race about traffic almost at Spa, but obviously it doesn't really impact that track so much because it's a very long circuit. But with this, you're looking at maybe around a 1:29, 1:28 for a lap time. So take that with around 34 cars all flying round. Traffic is going to become an issue, so I think that could be a real factor in who's the fastest out there today.
Well, that's right, and we're following along with Toby Davis simply because he's sitting second in the championship. He showed some pace. We just want to see where the benchmark's going to be, because I have a feeling the battle's going to be it's going to be fairly tight, because I think a lot of these guys like Ivo Simon, Strauss, Rauvio, Raul Pereira, I think they've got pace. I think it's just finding that little edge that they're missing to get themselves into, you know, the mid 28s, like the high 28s. So they can then compete with these guys up front. But I still think this qualifying is going to be kind of a repeat of the soft pick, and I'm just going to show it one more time while we're waiting for Toby to get out here on his lap. This picture here is from round 1. That was the top 3 qualifying after a 2-minute 30-second lap. So I'm curious, can we get it any closer, Liam?
Oh, I don't think we can get any closer if we try, but I'm sure a couple of guys are going to try it. You can see Toby just coming up now towards his final part of the track. You can see this. Look at the flurry of cars following him now. This is the kind of racing circumstances you're going to expect as well. So down the straight he comes in to begin his opening lap in qualifying. This will be the benchmark pace, and you can tell how eager he is. By the way, he will be the first man to set a lap time. So down into turn 1 he goes, very sharp braking point, as Keith pointed out, and so easy to lose the back end if you're not careful through there. You've seen a great view now on board with him. So get on the inside for turn 2, and just flick to the outside, and just get ready now to turn the car right in what is now the Dunlop Bridge, but obviously the Yokohama one. So he goes underneath it and going to swing the car right. Now this part of the circuit can get very crucial now. It begins to heat up, and these next couple of corners really can implement your lap times and really kind of differ you from the top 5 to the top 10. And Toby obviously wants to be on that front row. So flicks the car left and tries to carry as much traction as possible. Maybe it's a little bit more of the curve than he would like to. Then begins to run up the hill. Now this is the most crucial corner on the circuit. To run up to the corkscrew, flick it left, catch just enough of apex there, and get ready to go flat out through here. And I just watch this. I'm not even going to commentate this bit. Just watch how late he brakes for the corkscrew now. Really is scary stuff to see that car rocket down the gears, almost fly over there. That the car's completely weightless when it lifts off the ground. But now flat out through here, then gets ready to turn into the penultimate corner. Very tricky right-hander once again if you misjudge it, but carefully does not take any of the anti-cut strip. And in towards the final corner, this will be the benchmark time, as it said then. All the drivers will try to beat this. Jesper Tolberg will be one man who looks to do so, but the man who wants to try and get that banker lap in now will be Toby Davis. What will this time be as he comes across the start-finish line, and he accomplishes a 1 minute 29.3. So a very good lap. 1 minute 30 from Ross McGregor, 129.5 from Aaron
and Tolberg, 28.8. 28.8 from Tolberg. He slotted that in really quickly, butchered to a 29.8. Let's see who else we've got. William Levesque. Where is he? Levesque is just on his out lap here. This is the guy who did a 128.745 in that short little rejoin period we just had, waiting for, well, we had those small technical issues. So as you watch down the bottom of your screen, the cars will slowly fill in. You'll see people popping onto the screen and disappearing. That's as the grid is being set and people are actually getting their times in. We're going to see what Levesque has for his outside of this series. They are teammates, but there is no team championship here, so there's no team orders. I think team orders go, like the teammate thing should just go right out the window when you get on a track and you're not flying the same colors. Just be like, hey man, it's just racing. It's just racing.
Yeah, indeed. They've got to be careful because obviously, while this not necessarily teammates here, can influence maybe their chemistry and definitely the team around. But right now, Levesque is really concentrating on one thing, and that's trying to get that pole position and snatch it from two of the most illustrated drivers in the whole of sim racing, being Toby Davis and Jesper Tolberg. So Levesque then comes up to start his attempt. Of course, still 10 minutes to go, so plenty can happen here at Laguna Seca. It's one of those circuits where you can expect maybe a late shock, but he's currently 30th, and look at the cars, he's just being out of the pit lane there. A very tricky pit lane as well, gets a bit sideways into turn 1 almost, and almost missed the braking point, but very nicely hugs that back apex in towards turn 2, and no traffic in front of him, so it's going to be a dream lap, and it's all just down to him versus the track. No opponents in front of him for the foreseeable future, which is really going to aid him now in trying to get that optimal time. And right now it's looking fairly good. We'll see all his timers as he comes through sector 1.
Very clean, but still 2 off.
Yeah, it's 0.2 away at the moment, which would sit him just in front of Toby Davis, but still behind Jesper Tolberg, and that's not where he wants to be. He wants to be sat in front of Jesper, one of his main championship rivals throughout TPS history. These two have had some fantastic battles over the past, and if any of those are going to be accounted for today, then this one is going to be even more stronger. As they come up to the corkscrew once again, just look how late they brake, and then watch the car almost got a bit of fight through here. Over they go, over the crest, and it's such an enticing corner to watch. As Zert now flings the car left, almost flat out through here, a bit sideways to get the maximum traction, and we'll see if he can try and get his car in the front row. It's looking good so far. The sector time though, the question is this going to be enough to sit himself on that front row? 9 minutes to go in the session. Into the final corner he comes. And now all he's got to do is hope he's done enough. There, you can see how quickly he's caught the car in front of him, but it's now just stands in his hands of the gods.
Levesque, is he going to take the pole?
Yes, he does. Wow.
What a lap. What a lap. He made up, from sector 1 to the end of that lap, he made up a total of 0.3 of a second. That is incredible. Well, that was an incredible lap by Levesque. But we've got guys like Ivo Simons there in 4th, just kind of menacing a little bit in that small little Alfa Romeo, which, like we said earlier in the broadcast, is the fact that these guys are in kind of polar opposite of cars. The Alfa Romeo very low power, but incredible handling, good on tires. The Cosworth is a mid-power, a little harder on tires, and it's going to be interesting to see how these cars fare over the length of the race, because we saw in round 1, Tallberg was able to do the entire race without pitting, whereas everyone else actually pitted. So does Tallberg figure something out? Knows how to, you know, wrangle that Supra of his in and keep those tires underneath him? But Simons, if he can maintain this pace, he will actually fit himself. Oh, Tallberg goes 2/10 faster than Levesque. We'll follow with Simons here as he crosses the line. Final corner, he might actually slot in between Davis and Tallberg provisionally. Simons is going to look to cross the line and improve on his 129.499. Is he going to do it low 29? No, he doesn't improve. So let's get up to Tallberg and see what he's got, because he is now 2/10 up. He's still 2/10 up on Levesque. He's coming into the corkscrew hot in that Supra. He's obviously looking to take another pole and possibly sweep this series, maybe. But all the poles and all the wins and all the land.
Very well could be, and could be as well. Florian Strauss currently 7th, is 0.16 up on Levesque's times. Whilst Levesque has done a fantastic lap, this may not be enough. Jesper Tallberg rounds the final corner then. Is this going to be enough for pole position? Is there anything you can do? I can do better scenario. But the question is, who's going to be using that first line today? Is Tallberg crosses the line now? And it's a 128.4.
Wow, what a lap. That's a full second faster than anyone has gone here in WTM in the past in Touring Pro Series. Florian Strauss, though, is still purple. I do believe that would be on Levesque's time, not on Tallberg's, but he has a nice toe currently from that Alpha just ahead of him, as Strauss goes a little bit wide as the Alpha tries to get out of the way. He's currently 7th, is still purple. Can Florian Strauss make a wave here in this grid, headed into the start of the second round? Florian Strauss looking to dethrone Tallberg. Can he do it? No, he's not going to do it, but he's going to take 3rd. That's a respectable time. He's right in the game right now. He's only he's about 6/10 back of Tallberg, but he's only 3 back of Levesque. So that was a great improvement for Florian Strauss.
Indeed it was, and that's what we were saying. He's late shock, 6 minutes to come. Are we going to see any more? Davis hot to try now, because he's down to P4, and that's not where he wants to be. He knows Jesper has pace. The 128.4 reflects that. Toby currently on a 129.2, 8/10 slower than his main championship competitor. He needs to pull something special out the bag now, and he's 3/10 down as he enters the corkscrew, and this just isn't going to be good enough just yet.
No, 3/10 will put him just, if he can maintain this pace, he will actually slot in between Levesque and Strauss, so he will improve his position by 1 spot, but it does leave Tallberg with the starting position here at a very tight circuit, with passing opportunities are fairly limited here, and it's been seen in the past in ATCC, in WTM. You got to be very calculated at Laguna Seca when you are planning to make a pass, and if you need track position, you're going to have to earn it here. And right now, Davis does do it. He slots just ahead of Florian Strauss by 0.003 of a second, so he'll be happy that he made up a spot, but still not happy enough that he's got Levesque in between him and Tallberg, and those are the 2 guys that are battling for the championship as of right now. But Levesque could very well make up some points here if he can get ahead of Tallberg early and possibly keep him behind him.
Yeah, and as we said, this is still a very short season, so all those points you get earlier on will alleviate that pressure as we go in towards the final round of the season, and you need to try and get those banker points in. As Tveit, the man who was absolutely flying last time out in Sparta, made 12 positions. I don't think anyone will ever quite forget that one. That's going to be part of TPS history for quite some time. And a big save there. Not quite sure how he hung on to that one, but a very scary moment nonetheless. I wonder if that's going to hinder his lap time. And you can see these drivers and how hard they're trying to push. They're using a little bit more of the track as they go over the apex. They take a little bit of grass, hoping it will give them a bit more traction. But as you can see, if it doesn't work out, you will end up sideways and maybe even off the track.
Oh, well, and Tveit is always exciting to watch. Very young driver. He's a young rising star in Touring Pro Series. I do predict to see big things come out of him as he comes into his own and matures. I do believe he's only 14 years old, and that's, I mean, at 14 years old, I don't even know if I had a computer then. So that just shows how old I am. But Tveit is going to be looking to improve, even though a 29.2, like as of right now, the fastest lap ever recorded in WTM was a 129.5 by Gregory DeGrief in the Alfa Romeo. That would slot him in 7th place currently in this qualifying order. So Tveit is looking to maybe grab a draft off the back of Davis. I don't know if that's going to help him because he crosses the line. No improvement, still stays in the 5th position, actually slower than he was before. Ross McGregor actually pops himself up into the 6th spot with a 1:29.447, half a tenth ahead of Ivo Simons, who is in the fastest running Alfa Romeo. The funny thing is that is the car that Gregory de Greef was driving when he set the pole time and won the first round in season 2. So Ivo Simons actually taking this car about half a tenth quicker than the season 1 champion of Gregory de Greef.
Yeah, and it's obviously a very strong legacy with that car. Can Ivo live up to it as he begins his next lap? And he should theoretically get one more lap in, providing on how much fuel he has in that car at the moment, looking to try and make a statement today to get his championship drive back in gear. And just about anyone in that top 5 could see themselves with an opportunity if they get the right amount of time. As we saw, this was Toby Davis's spot, if you will, last time. And of course, Toby did a 1:29.2, and now he's up to 1:29 flat. So there is time to be found on this track. And Ivo currently sits in P8 after Raul Pereira does a 1:29.3, and he's around 2 tenths quicker than Simon. So
oh, nice.
What Ivo can do.
Well, Raul Pereira is actually a good story because he had his series debut actually with TouringProSeries at the last event. He ended up actually DNFing, but he had a great qualifying. I know he was he wasn't pleased with his result, but he's looking to make up for that here, and he's doing very well. Sitting in the 6th position provisionally as of right now in the likes of Tveit, McGregor, Simons, Strauss. So very well done to him. As Simons comes by, looked like Sierra there, parked on the side of the road, just headed up to the corkscrew. Scary spot to find a car park.
Oh, probably one of the scariest places in the world to find a car park, to be honest. And another interesting story as well, just know, is Chris Butcher currently sits in 12th. We believe he has had some problems with his machine tonight, which has stopped him from being able to practice. He's got it working before the race, so obviously performance for him will be limited, but to still come out in P12 is a very valiant effort indeed.
Well, and Chris is I did hear him in TeamSpeak. He came and he was very frustrated. He's been struggling with his computer past couple of days, and 45 minutes to go, he gets it going and he's in. But what I would expect to see from Chris is, and this is just from knowing him and watching him race over the past few years, is that he will get faster as this race goes on because he's going to get more comfortable in the car. And even if he starts 12th, I do expect to see him to shake things up and put himself up and through the grid fairly quickly. Eunice Raubio, actually, this is a driver who I was expecting to see a little bit quicker. He was doing 1:29.4s in practice. I think he's maybe struggling a little bit getting comfortable here in the qualifying session. As you can see, he's surrounded by other cars right now, and it does kind of throw you off when you're trying to set a hot lap, is to have cars in front, behind. It just kind of gets in your head that you may make a little mistake, or they may, like at India, and you've only got limited time, as this is going to be his last chance for a flying lap. Eunice Raubio is going to look to improve on his 1:29.5, hopefully get into the top 8 if he can, and it's not going to happen like that, Eunice. Get a little bit sideways through 1 and 2, and it will affect your run out, and it'll also overheat your tires fairly quickly. But I mean, Liam, it looks like the grid's might be pretty well set, because this is going to be the final lap for pretty well everybody.
Yeah, indeed it will. And Ivo Simon's got that final lap in as well. Moves up to P5 on a 1:29.2. So great stuff there by Ivo. I think who knows, may have been auditioning for the new Fast and Furious movie through that first corner. So we'll see how that affects his lap time. But definitely a very aggressive way to take that first corner, and just a stunning display of what these cars can produce. And he's looking at the moment, as we said, this is the final lap. There's a ticker hit 0 now, so the lap times are frozen. Anyone that crosses the line after that time now will not be able to set another flying lap. So this really is the last chance saloon, if you pardon the pun.
I like that. Eunice Raubio, actually, if he could maintain this pace, he's actually about half a second up on his own time. He's half a second off the Thalberg, but that would put him at a 1:28.9, which would slot him into the 3rd position. But we're going to see how he fares this last sector here, but I think this is going to be his hot lap. He comes across the final corner. It seemed to be a little bit deep in there, but he might have been going for a better run on the exit. Eunice Raubio is going to be looking to improve on his time. Can he move up from 9th? Is he going to do it? No, he does not. He just lost half a second in the last sector. So he's going to need to figure that out. And I mean, Racing Prize when you're out there with other cars, you will see where you're going to be losing that time, and hopefully he can pick that up and figure out if he's got something to answer for these guys. As Florian Strauss, we missed it, but Florian Strauss has taken the spot from Davis and pushed him back into the 4th spot. Florian Strauss with a last-minute charge, taking a top 3 starting spot, as the Iceman Talberg is still out on track, maybe looking to improve. No, he looks like he's going for a little bit of a parade lap, just showing off those beautiful colors in that very good-looking Toyota Supra.
It's a very good-looking start position as well, and he's 2/10 quicker than William Levesque, so unmatched Jesper Talberg there. And how much of a differentiation is that from the Spa grid we saw?
Oh, I know. Yeah, considering the fact that it was literally a tie, this man right here is your pole sitter. I honestly think he's doing this to showboat. What do you think? He's doing a very slow lap as he heads through the corkscrew. Jesper Talberg seems to just think he's got everything kind of figured out, doesn't he? As now qualifying is over, we are now headed to the warm-up. We're just going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be back with you and give you a quick rundown on the grid. So just hold tight. And we are back. Thank you for sitting tight. We are now in the warm-up, but what we're going to do is quickly do a rundown of the current grid, and Liam will take over that for you. So, Liam, have at it.
Yeah, no worries. So it was Jesper Talberg once again qualifying on pole position. He did a 1 minute 28.442, so back at the top of his game in that Supra, proving it has got pace. The man in second was William Levesque with a 128.683, though his name has disappeared temporarily from our screens. Florian Strauss was just behind him in P3 and tipped top Toby Davis in P4 in the Ford Sierra with a 129.007. The man on row 3, the grid, is Ivo Simons, who had a great time there of a 129.255. He was closely followed by the hard charger last race of Eric Tveit of a 129.284. 7th place was Raul Pereira, who he said was a great success story for him, so a 129.392 puts him in 7th place, just in front of Ross McGregor's BMW in 8th. 9th place was Hunes Revaio in P9 with a 129.459, and Mate Orban in P10 in the Volvo with a 129.745. 1:49. So the only guy in the top 10 there. So we'll see what Auburn can do later during the race. So on to 11th place then, and that was Chris Butcher. He was just outside the top 10. He was closely followed by Tommy O'Hala. Just nothing between those two, just 300ths of a second. Then it was Alberto Alzagli in P13 with a 1:29.984. Luis Fernandez came in 14 in his BMW M635. P15 was Jeff Dobbing, and he was closely followed by Bruno Souza Ferreira. 17th was the British Mike Bell. He was followed by Kevin Enderman in P18. 19th was Dimitri Botanako with a 1:30.433. Very closely followed there by Anders Nilsson, a 10th off, and a little bit further down than he would have liked to. So we'll have to see how Anders progresses later during the race. Then Bracale finished in P21 at the end of that session, and he was followed by P22 man David Yunt in the Ford Sierra. P23 was Jonathan Motteram, and he was followed by Roding in 24th, and again in a BMW. Jay Adji was 25th, and even Bass got his Toyota Supra in a 26th, so a very different kind of pace there from what the other Toyota Supra driver, Jesper Talberg, was doing. After Ethan Bass was Andy Bonar in an Alfa Romeo 75 Turbo Design. Steve Davis came in 28th place just behind him, followed by Tony Matthews and Ollie Marius Merivold. And Jonathan Ockerklint was P31, and Roy Magnus rounds out the field in P32. There were two drivers who didn't make the cut, and Matt Richards was one of those. Of course, there is a 105% rule here, so if you're not quite quick enough, you won't make the race. So it was Matt Richards and another man. I can't remember the surname, and the name has disappeared from my screen, which has not helped that situation.
Yeah, well, we've got 32 cars taking the green flag here tonight. Should be a very interesting race. I mean, 32 cars at Laguna Seca. It's a fairly tight grid, but it's not unmanageable. We went through round one without a single incident, which is fantastic because we had, I believe, 36 or 37 cars take the grid. I might even a bit more, but needless to say, we are here now, going to be taking the green flag very shortly. Here we have 30 seconds to the call down. We'll be riding on board here with Jesper Talberg to take the start. Talberg does seem to have a bit of a trouble getting off the line at times, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that lead and do what he did at Spa and get himself out front and just basically walk away. Yeah, I mean, it's time.
Yeah, it could very well be as we get ready to go green flag here, and it's going to be very crucial. And just look how many cars are going to line up on that grid. You just wait for those 5 red lights, and we're away. So Jesper Talberg there. I think this is a warm-up lap, actually, isn't it? So Talberg just going to warm the field round.
Yeah, just one moment. I'm just actually as you want to quickly do. Yeah, they are doing a warm-up lap to the rolling start. I'm just actually speaking with one of the drivers. Toby was checking on something. We're just going to have the, where is it here? Okay, we're just going to do a quick restart to get the grid going here. So just bear with us just one moment. We'll be back with you in just a second. Sorry, everybody, for the delay. I kind of left Liam in limbo, and he actually was talking for the past few minutes with the TeamSpeak button turned off. So I feel really bad for Liam, who just had a very long conversation with himself. I'm very sorry, but what we had happen was Toby Davis, who was an admin here, was looking at the rules for Lee, one of the drivers for Lee Palmer, and he actually, because he was in the middle of looking this up for one of the drivers, he ended up missing the warm-up time, and he didn't get on track. So we've gone and restarted the warm-up. We are going through, we're going to be going to the formation lap very shortly here, so just please hold tight. But the grid hasn't changed. Nothing else has changed. We have 33 drivers taking the green here, so we're headed to the race section now. Grid up. We're going to be doing a warm-up lap, and then we have a 34-lap race here at Laguna Seca. So if you can make predictions for what we could expect to see here, what are you thinking, Liam?
Well, I think we're going to see a very, very crucial first lap, no matter how you look at it. It's going to be very important for the likes of Jesper Tolberg to get away from that field. We know what the drivers behind him are capable of, the drivers like Toby Davis, like Eric DeVite, because we've seen them shine in other aspects. But it's going to be crucial for everyone to get off that line cleanly and try and make as many positions as they can into turn one, because as soon as that field starts to separate out, we're coming to little bits of group racing, as I call it, where there's groups of 3 or 4 cars circulating the track, all just trying to pass each other. It's going to be very tricky, because this circuit doesn't really offer very many overtaking opportunities without putting something very risky on the line.
For sure, and these guys are going to be traipsing around the field here now, as we actually at the very back of the field here. This is just to show you, as these guys take off, we're going to be headed around, doing our formation lap, and everyone's going to line up at the grid once they've completed one full warm-up lap. It's not a racing lap. You're not going to be out there swerving your tires like we've seen in the Clios. These guys are going to be respectful. We've seen no penalties so far this season. I would absolutely love to see a season go through not one single penalty. It would be an absolute treat to see that, because it shows the drivers are giving each other respect on the track, off the track also, and it just means that the drivers have kind of honed their racecraft to be able to race hard but fair at all times, and that's the key to good racing. And we've seen some a little bit of shenanigans in the virtual Clio series, which has been a fairly abrupt change has been made to the gridding of that, cutting the field down, and also kind of penalizing the people who have already received penalties this season just because of the driver standard. So for any drivers who may watch this, we need to keep that driver standard up. This is the racing with large grids is good only if you can maintain the driving standard. Once it starts to fall apart, you have to bring the grid sizes down, because 45 cars on track, if you've got 10 not respecting each other, you end up with chaos, and it's been seen. So we've got 33 cars here today at Laguna Seca, tight circuit, fast drivers, fast cars. We're going to see some fireworks, I think, Liam.
Absolutely, and hopefully it's a good time as well. We could see a couple of explosions, hopefully no nuclear bombs, but nonetheless we are definitely going to see an exciting display this afternoon as they get ready to sit on their grid slots and hopefully get off the line cleanly into turn one. It's so tricky as well, even if you're going on your own. We saw earlier a little attempt at drifting around there, so going in on solo can be very difficult. Going in with 33 of them all piling around is surely going to be something to see.
Definitely, and these guys are just heating up their tires, getting into their grid boxes here. As you can see, these guys, it's a pretty menacing sight as you see these guys are. Look at how close their grid is. You can see TeVite is actually kind of angled his car a little bit. It's a famous move that Toby Davis uses quite regularly. These guys are still gridding. As we go back through the field, you can see these guys just getting in line as we're back down into the the back half of the field here. Everyone lines up. Once they're lined up, then we will start to see the green lights as the rest of the field winds up. I mean, we got a long ways back to go here as the rest of the field lines up. And even when we were racing at Spa, these guys were down around the corner before they could take the green. So we're waiting here to see the start of the second round of WTM in Season 2. Who is going to get the whole shot? Who is going to get away quickly? Talbert is on the pole position. As they get away, the green flag is out. Who is going to be headed down into turn one with the lead? You see a few guys up front. You've got 5 wide almost. Florian Strauss has got from third up to the lead. He's down into turn one with the lead. Doesn't hesitate at all. As you see in the background, you got
Carnage. In the background, spin in the background. I think that may have been Pereira. As we look back through the field, Pereira's up 11th at the moment, but it's a crazy start. As you can see the field all fly through now. Take a look at Levesque, who's down to 9th. Levesque, who started second on the grid, is down to 9th. Tolberg, the pole sitter, is down to 3rd. Davis is up to 2nd. second. To fight the hard charger, up to fourth. Butcher, who started 11th, is up to 5th.
He's up to 5th. I don't believe this. And this is only after 3 corners. Butcher being the hard charger as McGregor squeezes through on Ohala. McGregor and Ohala battling hard, but I mean really, to Florian Strauss, commanding start, absolutely commanding start, not wasting any time, getting out front as White runs a little bit wide up the hill into the corkscrew. How's it going to look going into the corkscrew for the first time? Davis behind Strauss with Tallberg in tow, to White in 4th, following these guys up over the hill as you see them get a little bit weightless. These guys are moving and shaking.
Indeed, they are. It's an absolute spectacle to watch, and so professional as well. But Strauss needed to get that job done early on, and he did so. He knew if he got it into turn 1, then he should have the position. That's what I was talking about. Once you get away, there are very few taking opportunities. As Tallberg looks to try and get at the inside of Davis. Davis shuts the door before it even opens, but now Tallberg does pull alongside him as they come down the straight. But that pace of Toby's not easily quicker, but just to relax it a little bit there here at Laguna Seca, and that could be a very, very big factor today. As they cross on, Florian Strauss leads the first lap of the race. Yeah,
he's leading them down into turn 1, and Davis seems to have Tallberg in tow of him. And we do know that Tallberg does have a tire advantage. As Yunus Ravio has to pit, I'm guessing he must have taken a jump start there, 3.9 seconds in the pits, so he's probably had to do his stop and go, serving that. It's a very unfortunate for him, and actually we have lost William Levesque. He has joined us. We will get to him in just a moment because we're following the action here. These guys are really moving. Tallberg, who we know has good tire wear, just seems to be kind of playing on the back of Davis. As Tveit is now looking down the inside of Tallberg. Tveit, not a good spot to pass there. Not a good spot. You know that, Liam. You just run up the track no matter what. Too wide never works there.
Oh, that was very wide again. That's twice in a row he's done that. I was going to say, almost half skipped the beat there for a moment. After fascinating view to see them all fly through the corkscrew. But you know what? This has really worked out for Toby Davis. He started a bit further back down the field. A bit worried there. He knows Tallberg is going to be exceptional at these tracks. He needs a good soul, and he knows where he can try and pick up these good things. Now, Florian Strauss has taken the lead, held up Tallberg. Toby Davis is in 2nd and in front of him. This has gone well. If Toby can get a lead here and Strauss can keep Tallberg at bay, then this championship battle is going to really heat it up.
Absolutely. And he says, Davis and Tallberg, the question is going to be about who can keep their tires on. I mean, it's very important, especially in a track like this where you're constantly hard on your rear tires, because you're always just at the verge of breaking powers. Butcher looking to go by Eric Tveit for the 4th spot. He's now gained, let's see here, he's up 6 spots. Tommy Ohala up 5 spots. Florian Strauss up 2, Tveit up 2. Tallberg is the big loser in the top 8 right now. But that's a great start by Butcher. We were talking about this, how his pace is phenomenal once the race gets going. And, you know, like, he hasn't done a lot of practice for this because of his PC issue. But here he is, 5th place. Great start for Butcher.
Absolutely dream start, as you say. In trouble practicing to get up to 5th. I'm sure he'll be ecstatic with that, and he's not showing any signs of letting up either. As you take a look at Pereira, I believe had a bit of a moment earlier on, but now got himself recuperated, trying to chase down Ivo Simon, who's lost a big chunk of time, hasn't he? We qualified in 5th. He's down to P9, but it hasn't really worked out there for Ivo.
No, it hasn't for sure, but Pereira definitely had that scary moment. At the start, I was wondering which car that was. He got full sideways through 2, and actually a couple guys had collected him, so not the way he wanted to start this race, but if he can get it together and actually get a good finish, he'll be looking forward to the 3rd round.
Yeah, indeed he will, so we'll have to see what happens now as we come around for round 3, and once again there, it looks like Florian Strauss has got we maintain that gap actually. He's 0.5 clear at the moment. Toby Davis with some side-by-side action there, just a bit further down the field. So right now Davis holding on Tallberg, by not by much though. As he goes into turn 1, Davis a little bit sideways, almost drifted it out wide there. Tallberg practically pushing him out of turn 2. And let's see now, as you can see, Eric Tveit keeping them close company, waiting for that opportunistic move if something goes wrong. But Tallberg's very professional. He's a championship winner here in TPS, and he wants to try and prove it once again today. He wants to add another one to his trophy cabinet. And look how close he's getting out to the back of Toby Davis, practically pushing him, waiting for the opportunity to arise. So with Laguna Seca, you have to kind of make it. He's going to try at the inside here. No, he doesn't. Very smart driving though here by Jesper.
No, it is. And Tallberg, it just looks to me like, and obviously we're looking through kind of a looking glass, but it looks like Tallberg is effortless. Like the car. Oh, Davis is wide. He's off in the kink there, going up to the corkscrew. Davis gets a little bit a little bit out of shape there. I think he just got too much curve, and it sent the car wide. Because now Tveit and Tolberg take advantage. Let's have a quick look and see what happened to Davis as he comes up here, uses all the curve, gets down. Yeah, he uses too much. The anti-cut sends him wide to say, hey, shouldn't be that far inside, and that's the result. So Davis, very uncharacteristic mistake early on here in this round at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be very annoyed for him now. He's got to try and maintain that composure, not let it go to his head, and try and regain that momentum he once had. Just behind, though, is his teammate Chris Butcher, so there could be some ring gun support there. So we'll have to see what happens as Tveit does the fastest lap.
Fastest man on the track is Eric Tveit. Good battle, though, here between Matej Orban and Raul Pereira. As we lost Ivo Simons, he's fallen through the field here. I think he might possibly have had a problem. Raul Pereira down the inside into turn 1. Can he do it? Can he hold it? No. That Volvo, that is the championship-winning Volvo from Season 2 that Peter Duivelar drove. He is holding, Matej Orban is having a run of his life here, holding off Raul Pereira in that Cosworth, followed by Alberto Aznaghi in the BMW M3, the highest-ranked BMW M3 so far this season, I believe.
Indeed it is, and let's see what Alberto can do then. Now he's got a prime opportunity to capitalise. Does he look to the inside? Very well defended. I don't think that was intentional. I thought he may have gone for a move there. But nonetheless, very well defended indeed, as they'll stream out now. You've got 3 different types of cars now, 3 different characteristics in the way they handle. With that BMW looking very handy. Of course, it does have a bit more straight line speed, so it could pay a bit more advantage because this is a little bit more of a quick circuit. We'll have to see if he can utilise that characteristic.
Absolutely. These guys here battling hard, and David Yund having a good run back up, but I do believe that Tveit has lost the back of Tolberg a bit, as Tolberg is now menacing Florian Strauss up here at the front. I guess Tolberg's just starting to come in. His car might start to be coming in for him, and now he can push a little bit. But Florian Strauss is going to do anything he can to keep him behind. I was just actually noted that Florian Strauss has not won a race in Touring Pro Series since the Virtual V8 Supercars 2012, the first round in March-April time there. So he's looking to get his win. I think he's probably well, not quite as long as my winless drought, but it's definitely a drought for sure. And he's probably going to be looking to break that here today.
Yeah, indeed he will, and I see what Tolberg can do, tries to get a better run there. As they will now dream in towards Sector 2, but I don't think he doesn't have enough momentum just yet. But as you said, Tolberg looks to have that tyre advantage. He's just playing it safe. As you can see, Strauss is locking the brakes. He's pushing hard, and I think Tolberg knows it. He's just keeping his composure, and this is why we call him the Iceman. He's very much almost Kimi Räikkönen kind of figure. He knows how to keep his composure and almost force a mistake on someone else just through mind games almost. He doesn't need to be all over the back of them all the time, ducking and diving, looking for a manoeuvre. All he's got to do is show his presence, and the mistakes will surely come. And
there it is right there. He's just, and you can see there's not even a puff of smoke coming off the car. He's very Kimi Räikkönen-esque, you know. We call him the Iceman just because he is so calm, cool, and collected. You know, the car, it was very good. It was very good. The car was very fast, and we kept the tires. Good racing. So we will see if Tolberg can pull off a nice move out here on Florian Strauss. I mean, Strauss, you can see how hard he's pushing. He's like, you know, little sideways here, little sideways there. Jesper will wait for the moment to capitalize when Strauss just kind of drops the wheel, goes a little wide, something like that. But you know, it's going to be a tough move at any point.
Yeah, absolutely, and even though, while we say, you know, Jesper's consistently there, look at Tveit, who's got himself right up in the mix now. This is really going to help him. He was fastest man on the circuit, had a bit of a moment there. He's just got that gap down to just 0.3 seconds. I'm sure that's even less now as the top 3 duel away. This could be Spa all over again, as we're on lap 7 here at Laguna Seca, and this is only heating up. Davis in a lonely 4th at the moment. He's kind of in no man's land, as his teammate Chris Butcher is battling away with Ross McGregor at the moment. And Ross would love a top 5 today though, wouldn't he, Keith?
Oh, for sure. And Butcher is going to be struggling because he doesn't know how the car's going to hit. He's down the inside. Book it, McGregor, the P5. Beautiful move as he comes up to the kink, though. There's a bit of a crossover, and it looks like Butcher is trying to unbook this flight. Is he going to do it through the kink sideways?
Wow.
McGregor gives him room. What racing, these two guys.
No, they can't go side by side through the cork, so I think I'm going to have to turn away. Let's look at this now. Ross McGregor tries to find something through here and go take a wider line. Notice that. Goes for the comeback line, but he's going to go deep, and he's done it. Through the corkscrew.
What a move. That was, we need to see this one more time because that was some clean racing from these two, going all the way back if you pull this, let's pull this back here. This is what clean racing's all about. McGregor pulls a great move down the inside. This is good to see. McGregor down the inside into turn 5, done. Beautiful clean pass. Now Butcher will get on board with him. He crosses back over. Nice clean move as he heads up into the kink. Chris Butcher does, the unthinkable through the kink. He pulls that pass. Now McGregor gets a run, keeps it clean. He gave him the room, but now Butcher defends down into the corkscrew. McGregor decides to go a little bit outside, cuts back across as Butcher slides through, and away he goes. That is clean racing right there, folks. That is 5 corners of absolute clean, hard racing. And these guys aren't even done. We're back live with Butcher as they're battling just as hard as they were through that entire replay.
You know what, this is why Touring Pro Series is one of the premier sim racing series. This level of professionalism, I wouldn't dare try it out. I'm not sure anyone else would either. That was guts of steel there by both of those. They still be overtaken the season though there by Ross. I mean, going through the corkscrew, even on your own, can be a scary experience just due to the sheer weightlessness of the car fields. Trying to make a pass through there and anticipating what the other driver's going to do is one of the most threatening experiences and enticing I've ever witnessed here. This series just keeps on impressing me today. And look at this now, it's just only going to get better because Tolberg is goes right up on Strauss again, who's been reeled in though by Eric's advice. The hunter's becoming the hunted, as I like to say, as Tolberg now becomes under intense pressure from Tavite. What can this 14-year-old produce? We said he's a rising star. Is he an underdog for a victory today?
It's an outside chance, but here's the thing: is that with Tolberg battling, trying to get by Strauss, if he has Tavite on his tail, this means that he also has to defend, and this could put the Iceman, kind of maybe put him in the hot seat and possibly melt him down a little bit by getting him to defend hard and actually get off his line and kind of mess with his tire conservation, because Tavite will take any chance he can get. He knows that he's got to do it, he's got to go, and he's there now. He doesn't want to wait as Tolberg is seems to be getting the better of Strauss, as Strauss is kind of seems to be dropping off a little bit as they're headed down into turn 5 here. Tolberg is all up the backside of Strauss. Is he looking down the inside? No. He backs off. He thinks better of it. Strauss is going to carry on and continue leading this race here. He's led from pretty well start to finish. I mean, it's a wire-to-wire run so far. Still got a long way to go with 34 laps of racing here. So we still got a lot to see.
Indeed, we have still plenty of action to come, and this one's still very much unsettled as they go through the corkscrew once again. Strauss done a good job so far though, as Tavite tries to get a bit of a cut back there to gain a bit more momentum. You can see how he's trying to differentiate those lines to get a bit of an advantage on the back of Jesper Tolberg, but he just can't quite get anything yet because Tolberg is right on the back of Strauss. See, we got Hammer and Tom, and Toby Davis may just welcome me to the battle now because he's still not slipping away at all. He's still only 0.2 seconds away, and he's got right up to Russell less now. See, well, this is when they cross the start finish line, because he's gone right up to the back of them now, and he may as well get the popcorn out because he's probably got the best seat in the house for this battle. I'm going to actually throw on a battle here of Olmarius Mirvold. I caught this on my screen. Mirvold, Agi, Yunus Ravio, Kevin Enderman. 4 guys. They were. It looked like 3 wide through the corkscrew on my screen, but I don't think that's possible. But these guys are battling. Look, Jay Agi down to the inside of Mirvold. No, Mirvold holds it off. Mirvold holding off in that big pig hold. He looks like he's almost like a rolling roadblock out there with the car so big at this track. I know there's the move going to be turn 1. They can't go 3 wide. Surely he's taking left on board there with Bravio. As he looks to the inside, can he make it stick? A textbook manoeuvre there. Careful. Not to hit Ollie though. He's going a bit deep and surely 3 back through. No, very well held there. And Kevin Enderman, unfortunately, had to surrender that one. And just look at this, though. This is just absolutely brilliant. We did miss the pass for the lead. The lead has changed. Tolberg has passed Strauss. He is now taking the lead away from Florian Strauss. Strauss, though, very close back by. We will get back to that battle we were just watching there in a moment. Strauss is going to need to do something quickly, because if Tolberg can get out front, I don't think anyone's going to see his bumper until the race is over. He has got the pace when the tires are gone. He's already pulled away. Tavite is on the back of Strauss. He actually gets into the back of him. Coming through the... Oh, look at this battling here. Side by side. Oh, he's got around! Tavite's off!
Tavite is off!
He's got it going again. He's very convenient place.
He's into the pits. What happened there was I got to see this on replay, because what happened was this could be a little inexperience here with him being a little bit over anxious over anxious on Strauss. Gets down the inside, gives him a little clip, 1-2 shot. Okay, sets Strauss a little bit off. So now Tveit tries to do a cross down the inside, and it's just a little late for him, and he gets into the side of him, and it sends him wide. It's that kind of over-aggressiveness, really, he was pushing for it, and he didn't need to. It's just still early in this race, and now, as he falls way back through the field, he's going to regret being so aggressive so soon, but he's still young. He's got a lot to learn. This is the battle we were following earlier with Jonas Rauvio, Enderman, Olmerius Myhrvold, Ivo Simons, Jay Adji. This is a massive battle with these guys. I see, what, 6 cars looking back?
Yeah, I was just going to say that one man who's not going to regret being aggressive right now could be Jonas Rauvio. Tries to find him once again, trying to force a maneuver now, and you have to round this track. That's what makes it so unique. He looks to the inside, shut the door though. There's Ollie Myhrvold as he now tries again at the inside. They're almost 3 wide, and what a cutback there, because it looks like Simons could try and get the cutback. These 3 practically nose to tail, pushing each other around. Almost, I would say, a 6-car tandem there for a moment as he goes through and get up the hill there in towards the corkscrew. Has he got enough momentum? We can't see another move through the corkscrew. I don't think my heart can take it. The tails flow through now, and Ollie Myhrvold must be in a very anxious place. And just as we were talking about there with Jesper Tolberg, just look at the gap he's extended now. He's just at a 1:29.9, which is the fastest lap of the race, and has already established a 3-second gap back to Florian Strauss.
Yeah, and look, this is a great shot on board here with Ivo Simons as Jonas Rauvio is trying to find a way by Olmerius Myhrvold, who knows how to handle this big pink machine here as he gets a little bit locked up into the final corner, and Ivo is just trying to figure out what he's going to do here, because as you can see, as he goes down this straight, he starts to lose these guys. This is because he's in the Alpha, and it does not have quite the straight line speed. As you can see the guys in the mirror, Kevin Enderman is in the skyline just behind him, closing in ever so slightly, but Rauvio and Myhrvold do get away from him on these long shoots. But now Ivo has the advantage through this tight stuff, and he needs to find a way to get by and actually get a little some clear space in front of him. But up front, I mean, we're not following it, but Tolberg is now 3.3 ahead. Oh, and it's sideways. It's Rauvio, and he's around.
He's in the wall.
He's into the wall. We've lost Rauvio. He's not going to be too happy with that as he falls way back. I think we've got, where did he go back to? We lost it. He went back to 21st spot, so not a great, that was a tough spot for him. Just got a little bit too heavy on the power and just lost the back end a little bit. But Simons reaps the benefits as he comes up on the back of this pink machine. As he gets a little bit squirrely through the kink, and now Enderman's going to go down the inside up to the corkscrew, and now he's got Adji up on the back of him, going to go around the outside of the corkscrew. He's losing spots. And in behind him, he gets a spot back from Adji. Adji has, I think it's Ika Roding there in behind him. He manages to salvage that one spot, but one mistake, and Enderman was all over him. So it shows that these guys battling in the midfield here are, they're one mistake away from 3 spots lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to be careful now. Look at this. Myhrvold comes under attack once again, round the outside the final corner.
Oh, what a move!
That's ambitious, and
what
that's fantastic.
Move.
That is fantastic there by Kevin Enderman. They're still side by side, and somehow Ollie holds. I'm not sure how he's doing this. So now Ivo Simons fancies his chances up the inside into turn 1. Can he get enough momentum though? As you can see in the background, there he goes, and off track goes Kevin Enderman.
Simons
has got it.
He did it. He went by Enderman. He got that spot back really quickly. Just capitalized on that moment there between Enderman and Myhrvold through the final corner. Enderman, beautiful move on the outside, but the reason Myhrvold's able to keep these guys at bay is because that Holden, it does have the straight line speed. So if you can just lumber that thing around the corners, you can actually get yourself a decent run out of the corner if someone does have a move, say like Enderman on the outside, and that's why he kept him there. But Simons looking very menacing, trying to get by this big machine, but like I said, it looks like a rolling roadblock. Not saying Myhrvold's doing anything wrong, but that car on this track, compared to the size of the Alpha, I mean, it's about 2.5 times the size of the Alpha.
Yeah, exactly. This is just some great racing scene here as well, with Simons tries to make it past 2 cars. Now Myhrvold is just not going to have a break this afternoon. He's coming under intense pressure as they go through the corkscrew. Let's see what Simons can do. He's in a bit of a sandwich at the moment. He looks to the inside. That's risky. And how has he done that? How has he done that?
What a move. Myhrvold just slips up ever so slightly, and inside goes Simons. That was very ambitious. I'd like to see that and see where exactly he got the balls to do that, because look at Myhrvold goes in deep, little wide. Oh, what a move. Robust, clean, and just ever so sparkly. Very nice. Very well done, Simons.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of contenders for move of the day so far. I'm sure the contenders are only going to keep coming in, as right now Maribold still can't catch a break because now he's under pressure from Kevin Enderman and Jay Adji.
Yeah,
so these three still running away.
Yeah, Ica Roding actually just pitting, and these guys are going to need to pit. There's no way they're going to go the full race without pitting. It's just not going to happen. Talberg's running just did a 29.9. He is literally just pulling away from the field again. And Talberg is the most decorated driver in Touring Pro Series history, and it's long 3-year, or almost 4-year history now, coming up on 4 years at the start of 2013. He is the most decorated driver in Touring Pro Series history. He is showing why that is. He's consistent, he's fast, he's able to keep the car under control, he's cool under pressure. He is the Iceman, and he's leading here respectively over Florian Strauss with Davis a little ways back, and McGregor 4th, Butcher in 5th. But this is the battle on track here. I mean, these guys haven't stopped. This has been relentless. I'm trying to find if there's any. There's actually a battle just ahead between Aznagi and David Yunt. You've got the BMW M3. Aznagi, this is an incredible run. This is the BMW M3, one of the lowest horsepower cars here, and it is. Aznagi, he's going to be passed by David Yunt, who uses a little too much track, and Yunt is wide. Aznagi crosses back under. Yunt flashes just to say, I'm sorry, locked up, lost a little bit of control. So glad everyone made it through there cleanly and no one got hurt. But this allows Tommy Ohala to close in on them in the BMW 635. We could see a nice 3-car battle here very shortly.
Yeah, indeed we could. And again, it just keeps on impressing. And somehow, as well, the majority of the race has been very clean. And yes, Talberg really has escaped out front. You said that would happen if he gets that clean air. We know how quick he is. And off goes David Yunt. And he's come back home and he's lost the place too. Ayala has got to be careful. Bruno Salza Ferreira, good race so far up into P11. Let's see if he can keep it going and break the top 10. But yes, for Talberg, 6.5 seconds clear of Florian Strauss. There's nothing they can do out there. And a big slide there for Chris Butcher. And that is one of those slow-mo highlight reels. That was beautiful and scary all in the same moment.
Yeah, and Ross McGregor will be very pleased that he's put this BMW where he has right now, as Davis is just going by a lap car there in the Alfa Romeo. Florian Strauss just slowly fading to the Iceman. He's just not able to quite keep the pace. However, this is a very good finish. This will be a very good finish for Florian here at Brands Hatch in the BMW, with Toby Davis not actually closing in on him. Everyone's going to need to pit very shortly, but Talberg, you can see he just did a 1:30.1, so he's only lost 0.2 of a second from one lap to the next, and this is the point where we're at the halfway mark where people's tires are going to be going off. As you can see, Davis having to use all of the track and then some out onto the dirt, just trying to lap and not get himself in any trouble here. He needs to keep things together here, and I noticed I just said Brands Hatch. It's actually Laguna Seca.
Indeed, so lap 16, and look at that, Aznagi, that's a P8, he's going to be very happy with that, as you said. Ferreira up in 7, it's very shuffled order from what we saw on the grid, and it's sure going to keep shuffling as David Yunt now comes under pressure from Ferreira after that incident we saw earlier. Just slight mistake can really cost you here. We've seen that so many times today. We saw Toby Davis very early on that very corner run a little bit wide, and it lost him a potential victory. He currently sits in P3, so it's not the end of the world. His main championship contender, yes, for Talberg, is 11.2 seconds up the road. We've
got a really good battle here. Eunice Ravio over Steve Davis. He just made a beautiful pass around the outside. I just caught that on my screen as Steve Davis is just in behind him in that to hold in the big purple machine. Eunice Ravio is on fresh tires, I do believe. I think he has pitted because he had a bit of a... He was running well, and then he had that off early on. But these were the guys he was battling with just ahead. You got Jay Adji, Mirvold. They've separated a fair bit. As Mirvold sideways through the corkscrew, manages to keep that pink machine underneath him. What a save by him. And Bruno Sousa Feria is into David Yunt, side by side, down into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He's got a bit of a run, a little bit of overlap. He's going to use a bit of the runoff here. David Yunt on the outside. Bruno backs off. He thinks better of it. He's thinking, okay, tires are a little worn. Mate Orban pitted, 9.3 seconds in and out. He pitted in from what position? I believe it was 6th position, because that now puts Raul Pereira up to 6th, Ohala 7th, Aznagi into 8th. So now we're going to see the pitting is going to be taking place. You've got Ohala, Pereira, Butcher. These guys all need to come in. McGregor's just ahead of Butcher. You can actually see him now and Butcher is pushing, and Steve Davis is now into the pits. We're going to slowly see people pitting, slowly see people pitting and getting some fresh rubber. So we'll see how things play out from here.
Yeah, and of course this is really going to be kind of literally World Touring Masters, going to be the World Tyre Masters if you really change it. Who can manage these tyres the best as they come towards the end of the first stint, and who really is the best strategizer out there on the circuit. So right now though, it's looking like Jesper Telbo just keeps extending that gap, 7.6 seconds. He's surely going to have a great strategy in mind. We said earlier about how well he manages these tyres. And it's going to be key here, I think, because right now, just look at the battle here, though, as Merivold still under pressure from Jay Agee. So this has been nearly a race-long battle, and he just cannot catch a break. He's doing like a big pink roadblock out there. He's just attracting all the attention.
I'm loving it. I mean, it's good. It's easy on the eyes, nice soft colors, but the car is just Merivold is doing an incredible job as Davis pits, McGregor, Butcher, all guys in the top 5 have just pitted. But these guys this is the battle of the day here. I mean, I can't take my eyes off this. These guys have battled so hard all race. Now Rauvio's back onto the back of these guys. As you can see, he's menacing. He's got a bit more pace than these guys here. As we look back from the pink machine of Merivold, look at him take off away from that Sierra, away from the BMW. He's just got all that straight line speed. As Rauvio's down the inside of Agee, down into turn 1. Rauvio's going to do it. Is he going to take the spot from Agee into the inside? Book it. Done. He's gone through. But now
contact! I think what happened there is that Agee tried to get back on the inside and get the cutback, but he did it too soon, and he unfortunately hit the back of him, and that could have been what happened, and Rauvio came worse off. Let's see a replay then.
Let's see what we got. What do you think happened here? Call this one.
I think he tried to get the cutback on the inside, but he's turned in too early, and the fact, yeah, that's what's happened. I think he may have just a bit of a tug with Merivold as well, but he's gone for the cutback too early, made a bit of contact, and around goes Rauvio, and a bit of contact there as well. Unfortunately, as Jeff Dobbing got himself in the mix up there.
No, but he's right back in it though. Look, these guys have not stopped. Ivo Simons is now back in it. Rauvio's down the inside of Simons into the kink. Rauvio's had an up and down race like the yellow, and he goes by 2. He passes Agee. He goes by 2 people in the kink, and now he's got to run up on Dobbing into the corkscrew. Rauvio's he's been like the star player here. Merivold's playing defense. Rauvio's playing offense. This is incredible stuff here. You got Rauvio now trying to go by Dobbing, past 3 cars in 1 lap. He must have some fresh tires as Simons is all over the back of him now. Rauvio, and Simons is missing the front clip, it looks like. Alberto Asnagi's into the pits too. So with the pit cycles, Strauss, Davis pitted, Ohala's pitted. Ohala is actually all over the back of Davis because I do believe he had to make a second stop. I saw him pit twice. He might have had to do a drive-through because of pitting in speed lane. I'm not 100% sure. We may find out soon, but let's just wait and see what happens here. You know what? Actually, while we have a quick moment here, I'm going to just call William. I know you've been waiting here a while. Are you still with us?
Yep.
William, explain to us what exactly happened there at the start.
Well, I couldn't see the lights. I've heard engine revving, so I guess the light just popped on, and I switched to the race timer, and nothing happened. So I just didn't start. Then I realized, oh God, the race is starting. I made 3 corners, and then I lost connection.
That is so unfortunate.
I don't know why. I've got a new router, and it worked before. Did the VH race at Bathurst, no problem. And now just lose connection for no reason.
Very unfortunate. Sorry for your luck today, William. I know you were looking forward to a good result here to have a chance at the championship. But we do look forward to seeing you in future events. And I'd like to see you pull off a race win here. I know you broke your cherry you popped your cherry in Touring Pro Series in WTM last season. So I think it would be only fitting if you could pull off a win here this season. So you think that's possible?
Well, it depends, because my most likely job will probably take away most of my sim racing, and I won't be able to commit to anything for a long time.
Well, it's very unfortunate. You're one of the stars in Touring Pro Series, but you know, I feel the same way. I mean, I can't stand that work gets in the way of my sim racing these days. It drives me crazy. So,
yeah.
Anyways, William, thank you for popping into the booth. We're going to get back to the action. This is an action-packed, but please do join all the other drivers and all the other viewers in the chat room and chat up with them, because I'm sure they'll want to have a word with you. So that was William Levesque, everybody. just having some unfortunate luck here today. But we're back with the action live. As you can see, people are pitting. We're on lap 20 of 34. These guys are having the battle of a lifetime here. I mean, you've got a quick update as to what's happened here. Talberg is Talberg is leading, quite a ways ahead. Strauss having a great, respectable run in second. Davis was close to Strauss, but he actually, I believe, had a drive-through penalty, had to come back into the pits again, and he's now dropped back a whole 12 seconds off of Strauss. Or I believe Strauss and Talberg haven't pitted, possibly. I haven't quite caught all the pits. I don't know if you've seen that at all, Liam. Have you?
It could well be, but right now that gap has actually come down a little bit. It's currently 9.9, but the field really has separated out since this kind of pit stop window's got underway. But maybe Talberg's playing it longer because, as he said, he hasn't lost the lead yet, and he's got a 30-second gap to Davis. So I don't think Talberg and Strauss have pitted, and they could be going for a similar strategy. Yeah, they could be just pushing it out so they have the tires at the end of the race just in case they do close. So we will see what happens here very shortly. But good story here, Chris Butcher, who basically just got his computer together down the inside of Bruno Sousa Ferreira. No, sorry. Yes, it was, and he booked it into 5th position. I'm sorry, I got a little confused there. Butcher, as we were saying, he barely got his computer together before this event. He got it together 45 minutes before the event started. He was having all sorts of issues, but here he is getting quicker and quicker and quicker, running in top 5. He'll be very pleased with that, as he's now got Ross McGregor in his sights, trying to chase him down and potentially take a 4th place finish here at Laguna Seca. So that would be a great end to his race here, as he uses a little bit of the anti-cuts there. Yeah, absolutely. Got to try and keep that pressure on there, because right now Auburn could be a really big winner from this pit stop window if he can try and get that strategy to work though. Because I don't think, again, he's pitted yet, so he may have to try and get something working. But right now, with all these battles going through the field, I think it may just pay off. Strategy could well be an undermined factor today as he goes up the inside there around the lap car, who essentially gets out of the way. But I think because of all this, we said the traffic could be a bit of an issue, but because there's so many cars dueling away all the time, if you get a right strategy and find yourself some clean air, could really help you this race.
For sure. Well, here's the thing, is that the guy, because Talberg hasn't pitted, Talberg and Strauss haven't pitted, we've got guys lapped down. We got Eric Tveit, who was having a great run, a little ambitious. I know I said aggressive. It wasn't an intent to say aggressive as in it was an aggressive move. It was an ambitious move, and he didn't need to be so ambitious so early. I believe that if he had just eased off a little bit, I think Tveit could have come out of here with a much better result. But still, it's a little bit of it's a learning curve. He's still very young, lots to learn. I expect to see big things out of this young Finnish driver, if I do believe he's from Finland.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely one of the promising stars of the future. I think this experience is definitely going to help him as well. You need those bad moments to help you through the good ones. As well, they believe we got some side-by-side action there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Going road. Let's see if he can get it done then. Trying to hold that inside line. And oh, that's a big move there by trying to hold on to that. And Roding just had every response covered there.
Oh, look,
he's in the middle again.
This is unreal. I swear, Miraval did not pay us to cover him for this event, but this is where the battle has been here. Dobbing, Davis is now in the mix. You got 2 Holdens in the midst of this 5-car train here. I know we've been covering. Sorry, Eric Tveit is Norwegian. Sorry, I just want to clarify that. I wasn't 100% sure. I'm thinking of Tommy Ohala. So, correction for that. Thank you, Michael Gillespie, for clearing that up. He seems to be our Touring Pro Series encyclopedia.
Indeed, he doesn't right now. He's going to have a lot to write about, because look at the battles which keep raging on here. And Ollie really has stolen the spotlight this race, and probably defender of the race so far. Going to be put to the test as right now. Luis Fernandez gets an unfortunate run there, and unfortunately going to get a run up to the. They can't go through the corkscrew again side by side. I think I can bear another move, but he tries to get on the inside and somehow hold on, and that's very risky to do so. But very good defending there once again. Ollie just going to slowly slip away into the distance and pray that they don't catch him back up.
Well, I think we're still going to see some rounds of pit stops. I'm going to go back up to the front of the grid here, as we've got. Let me just see here. We've got in the lead right now, Talberg. But no, I wanted to see something. Who dropped out? Bruno Sousa Ferreira had actually pitted again. I'm not sure if he had missed his pit or what, but he's now back in the 11th position and actually he's the last person on the lead lap. So only 11 people still on the lead lap as of right now on the 24th lap of this race. David Yunt, Tommy Ohala, Alberto Aznaghi in the M3. Raul Pereira, very good comeback considering he had such a poor start and getting into a little bit of a spin very early on. Mate Orban, he'll be very pleased with a 6th place right now. Chris Butcher, Ross McGregor, Toby Davis, Strauss, who is in the pits. Florian Strauss is in the pits. Let's have a look back from his car, and let's see how far back we've got. How far back do we have to go to see if Davis is going to be there? And there's Davis. This is the battle for 2nd place. Strauss is going to need to get out of this pit lane very cleanly. I think it's a little quicker as you come through here, as long as you don't get sideways onto the power of Strauss. Strauss cannot keep Davis at bay. Davis goes through to 2nd spot on the pit cycle. So Davis's strategy working out for now. It doesn't mean that it's going to work at the end of the race. He's going to have fresher tires now. Davis is going to struggle with the fresher tires now, later on for taking them too soon. Strauss is going to have to just get his tires heated up, get on Davis, make a nice move, and take that 2nd spot. He's earned it this race. But Thalberg doesn't even look like he needs to pit. Still running a 1:31.3 in the lead, away from these guys, pulling away 30 seconds ahead of 2nd place.
Absolutely. I think Florian's actually played that very well, because he has provisionally lost the place to Davis. So he will have a gigantic advantage when those tyres rubber in, and of course Toby's going to have much weaker, much more used tyres after battling a bit earlier on as well. This could unfortunately harm him. Of course, Tommy O'Hala was up there a bit earlier on. He's currently down in 9th position after a pit stop, but this is unfortunately, I think, going to bite Toby in the back. We'll have to see what Florian's got there, because Toby will not want to relinquish his 2nd position, because of course that's only 1 spot behind his championship rival.
Yes, that's right, and we're going to quickly go back through, because I do know that I just had a quick look again. The battling continues as Mirvold just does a little bit of a drift show for you guys. But back here you've got Davis, followed by Luis Fernandez, Dobbing, Ethan Bass. I haven't talked about him much today. He's kind of been a little quiet, but he's here having a fairly decent run. I know he's getting accustomed to rFactor, but it's good to see him up there in the 20th spot there, battling with another fellow Supra as he gets passed by Jay Agee, who's had a fairly good run here today. Sorry, Jay Agee just goes by him. Sorry, Jeff Dobbin goes by him for the 19th position, as Ethan Bass is 20th, a lap down. Actually, most of the field is actually a lap down now. We've got only 9 cars remaining on the lead lap. And this is all because Thalberg has his car under control and is able to keep this thing, keep the car from just falling off a cliff. He's managed to figure out how to make this car work so well that he is able to stay out front and 30 seconds ahead after 25 laps with the same set of tires.
Yeah, absolutely. It just shows why he's one of the most recognised drivers in all of sim racing is Bruno Ferreira now. Looks to try and get a move on David Yun up the inside here. Very well defended by Yun, forcing Ferreira round the long way careful and all the off track there. That's very easily done. And very well collected there by Bruno. Tried to get the cut back, and then there we've seen him move through here though by Chris Butcher. Don't think anything's just going to quite match that just yet, but he will get a lot of momentum as he goes towards the corkscrew. The question is, it's so hard to hold momentum through here. But he doesn't mind need to. He tries to look round the outside, and again David Yun seems to have this sign seal delivered at the moment. But of course, hopefully we don't get a commentator's curse on this one. So great racing here, and David just using all of the track to make sure that Bruno does not get past. Yeah,
Yunt is having a fairly good run there in that Cosworth. But ahead you've got O'Hala chasing down Aznagi in the M3, Raul Pereira in the Cosworth, Benson and Hedges' vehicle, who's actually chasing down Mate Orban. We could possibly see these guys bunch up, depending on Orban's pace at the end of his stint here, because now actually this is actually one thing we were talking about. Strauss now fresh rubber all over the back of Davis for 2nd spot. This is what you're seeing right here is a battle of different strategies. Down the inside, Florian Strauss for 2nd. No, he eases off. He thinks better. He knows he's got the tires underneath him. He knows that if he's just patient, he can do it without having any contact or any risk. You don't need the risk, because as of right now, well, okay, here's the thing. If Thalberg pits, which I highly doubt he will relinquish the lead, because Strauss was about 30 seconds ahead, or 25 seconds ahead of Davis when he pitted, and he lost his position to Strauss. So I think Thalberg is good to the end of the race. I think he's one of the only drivers who even consider doing that. So Strauss is now looking to take this 2nd spot from Davis as he gets a little bit loose under braking. You can see the difference in pace. Dobbing is into the pits. Strauss is trying to find a way by. We're on the 27th lap. We've got 34 laps in this race total, so we got 7 to go. Who is going to take this 2nd spot?
Well, it's looking like Florian Strauss at the moment. He looks absolutely ruthless out there. As he's got that tyre advantage, he knows it though. He should be biding his time, but instead he's going to force a manoeuvre as Davis tries to hold that middle line to cover every possible angle that Florian could attack from, and he's done that successfully. We've got to be careful. Florian will get a bit more momentum as they go in towards turn 2 there, but Davis once again covering that inside line. He knows what he's doing here. He's a very accomplished rider here in TPS, and of course in real life as well, driving the supercar. So Strauss, while he's got those new tyre advantage, may have his work cut out for him, because at the moment he goes a bit wide. He's just pushing too hard on things. He needs to bide his time, much like Eric Weiss should have done if he just bides his time, let the tyres come to him, and he should be okay.
Well, and actually a little ways back, like I said, there might be a battle brewing. It is getting fairly close now. You got Raul Pereira with Aznagi just behind him, closing in ever so slightly down to 1.1 seconds. But the gap between Pereira and Orban has actually opened, because I believe Pereira is on older tires. So Pereira is now going to be falling into the clutches of Alberto Aznagi, and we're going to see what kind of pace he can maintain with his tires starting to go off and a little bit of pressure from behind.
Yeah, he very well might do. Just look at this once again, though. You may see in the background there, Oliveira Merivold is not too far away. Right now, all the eyes could be on this freeway battle at the moment, because once again, Merivold had to swallow on him, and now this time it's Iker Roding who tries to get a move on. He's trying to get that BMW past him as soon as possible. Merivold, I think it's got to be said, he's had constant pressure from just about everyone in the field, I think, and he's held them all off to extensive proportions. So hats off to Ollie, he's done a very good job so far. Bit of a moment there though, I got a bit wiggly as they begin to climb the hill now. I think Iker Roding may have a bit of momentum as they come through that right-hander, or left-hander, I beg your pardon, and get ready to go through to the corkscrew. So let's see what can happen here though. Merivold has driven this line so many times in defending, it's almost going to become the racing line for him in terms of routine.
Yeah, Merivold has got this defending down. He's earned himself quite a bit of airtime with his fantastic defending in that car. And actually, what I was showing you there was the top speeds of all the cars. The fastest guy on track for top speeds is Olmarius Merivold, followed by Davis, Ravio, Enderman, Palmer, Moderum, Fernandez, and Ockerklin. These guys, that's the top speed that these guys are reaching here. But top speed definitely doesn't give you the speed needed. Because obviously you're going mid-speed more than you are at top speed at this track. Seem to constantly be working here at Laguna Seca, as now David Gunn again is still under pressure from Bruno Sousa Ferreira. These guys have been kind of glued together almost this entire race, as Strauss is still all over the back of Davis. This is going to happen. I mean, this is almost inevitable. This is coming very shortly here to a PC near you. You're going to be seeing this live as Strauss trying to get by Davis for second spot. Luis Fernandez into the pit, 10.5 seconds. McGregor quietly back in fourth, not really making any waves, but you know what, not making any mistakes. Nice clean race for him. Would love to see him get a nice top 5 finish and have a word with him after the race.
Yeah, I'll tell you what as well, we said that if Tolberg pits, he could relinquish the lead. That gap keeps coming down. You think that Toby Davis, despite being on, he's still got relatively new tyres compared to Tolberg, that Strauss and Davis have brought that gap down together to just 27.3 and 0.6 seconds now. So that gap on Tolberg is slowly but surely creeping down. And if Tolberg does need to stop, because making it to the end of the race on one set of tyres around Laguna Seca is a lot easier said than done. But if he does need to stop, we could once again see a three-way fight for the lead in our hands towards the end of this race.
Yeah, I don't, honestly, it's not going to happen. His pace is too good. He's doing 131.6s right now, which is only about 2 seconds off his fast laps early on. So it's not worth pitting. He's not going to do it. As now you see Florian Strauss has a run up into the corkscrew. Davis pitches him down the inside. Strauss has got the run into the corkscrew. Is he going to do it? No. He backs off a little bit. Strauss might be taken back a little bit by that defending. That was pretty hard by Davis, not giving him an inch of room. But it's still fairly fair though, because he did not move his car across. It's just that stretch of track is very, very windy. But Strauss probably will not forget that and might have to give him a little bit of an aggressive move to get by. But we'll wait and see. But these guys are it's just a matter of time before something happens between these two. You can't even throw a blanket over the two of these guys as they're battling this hard now. The battle I did say was coming was Aznagi and Pereira. Aznagi slowly chipping away at Raul Pereira's time. He's now within 0.4 of a second coming into the final corner. You'll see the M3 cornering ability is incredible as he comes through the final corner, and you can see the Cosworth does take off a little bit off the corner. He's going to make up most of his time through the first and second sector and possibly have a chance to make a move on Pereira.
Yeah, could very well do, and of course there's 5 laps to go, just about anything is possible, and I wonder if that sense of urgency will slowly start to creep into the mindset of these drivers, especially Alberto and especially Florian as well. Florian has been tucked way behind Toby for so long now and almost pushed off the track in a very aggressive defensive manoeuvre from Toby earlier on as they navigate their way through some lap traffic. Flashing lights to the thank you as they come here once again. Then last time they came around here, Toby held that inside line so well, forcing Charles Simmers off the road, but now Florian takes a different line, tries the outside, and Toby breaks a lot later. So is he going to run deep there? That's what he's banking on, tries to get the cut back. No, he holds it very well. Toby knows that yes, Florian will have that advantage. With 5 laps to go, why relinquish it? It's still all to play for. Davis knows that he needs his second spot if he wants to win this championship.
Yeah, exactly, because as of right now, I believe he's 4 points back of Thalberg currently after the first round. Or sorry, 3 points. So if by taking another second spot, he will then be 6 points back of Thalberg. So he's going to need some good fortune. If he can manage to pull this second off, he's going to need some good fortune and getting a couple spots between him and Thalberg if he wants to have a chance of taking this lead anytime early on in this championship. As Strauss gets into the back of Davis, headed into turn 1. Davis, you can see, is just really babying that car around because his tires have gone off. I think he's got about 5 or 6 more laps on them than Strauss does, and Strauss is just keeping the car under him, but he's got to get a little, he might have to get a little more aggressive and make his way by now, because if he doesn't, it's just going to give Davis all the more reason to defend harder, and McGregor has closed the gap between them. It's down to 5 seconds, and it was, I believe, 6 just a lap before.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't think they're going to catch Jesper this way, though, unless there's some dramatic turn of events. Because right now, I'm not sure if he's going to get this done, though. Toby's just driving so supremely right now, and he's in that zone. This is why, as we said, he's one of the most illustrated drivers in TPS. Of course, if you watch the Top 25 TPS Drivers podcast, you'll see just how highly he was ranked among the all-time greats. Florian just tries to find something more, though, right now. And he's going to need to dig down deep. It's going to take something truly exceptional or to force a mistake from Davis. And either one of those, I think, are going to be very hard to come by, I think.
Oh, for sure, and we're just waiting for this to happen. But all the while this is going on, we've got battles back here of Raul Pereira, Aznagi. Ohala has now closed up on the back of Aznagi, while Aznagi's has been trying to close down on Pereira. Like, these guys could be a 3-car train here very shortly. But just behind them, a little ways, is David Yunt and Bruno Sousa Ferreira, who have been battling pretty well the whole race here together, it would seem. And then in the backfield, you got Simons and Tveit. Tveit has had a bit of a roller coaster up and down here today, but I'm sure he'll be happy to just bring it home, get a decent finish. Oh, and up at the front, I got to get back to Strauss because I see that this is about it's got to happen soon, and this is going to be massive for the championship headed into the 3rd round, because Strauss needs some points to get himself up into contention possibly. But Strauss all over the back now of Davis. Got to run. Davis all defensive down into turn 5. Strauss is going to try it on the outside. No, Davis is going to squeeze him a little bit wide. Strauss trying to find room, and Davis is not willing to give an inch. He's not willing to give him any spot on this track where he can get an advantage of him through the kink, up to the corkscrew. How is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? What are we going to see here? Liam, I mean, where can he make a pass?
He's trying after the
there we go!
No way! Not through, no, he's gone way too deep. Can he make a stick? No, he doesn't.
No.
And that's what it's going to take, though. That's exactly what it's going to take if he wants to pass Toby Davis, and he's realised that now. He's started to dig down deep. That sense of immersion now, that sense of caution that the race coming over, the panic starts to come now. He knows he needs his position, and he needs to find something out of the bag now, something which Toby won't expect. And he definitely caught him off guard there. It's going to be a very big wake-up call for Toby Davis.
Yeah, and this is, well, I mean, that was a very, very bold move, to say the least. Now we're starting the final lap. This is the final lap of the race. And Thalberg hasn't really got much airtime because we can't really, we are on the penultimate lap. Penultimate lap here. We haven't given Thalberg much airtime. We will give him his due when it's time to cross that finish line. But Thalberg has been the guy out front. He just did a 1:31.2 with old tires on after running the entire race. The man is it's unbelievable. But Strauss is trying to do this. He's trying to make his way through. We just saw him try a really, really bold move down the inside into the corkscrew. Strauss is going to try her on the outside into 5 again. This didn't work last time. Can it work this time? Strauss around the outside. Is he going to do it? Davis down the inside, still trying to hold him. Strauss on the outside, got the run into the kink. 2x2 through the kink is not going to work. They share some paint. Strauss on the outside. He eases off, trying to cross over. Davis goes up the racetrack. Strauss gets into the back of him, up into the corkscrew. What's going to happen here? Who's going to give room? Nobody. Davis defends. Strauss hard into the corkscrew. Davis locks up. Strauss is going to try to cross back over. Not going to happen. Strauss is going to look up the inside, possibly through here into the left-hander. Not quite close enough, and he's done it! Down the inside, book it! Strauss into second place. Davis is going to try to get back by him. Not going to happen. Strauss has the tires, but Davis has the will, needs these points. Can he do it? Davis looking to go by. Into the inside, into the final corner. No. Strauss has got it. Oh, he contact. Davis is sideways. Strauss on the outside. I think he's got the run down into turn one. Strauss has got it. He's completed that pass finally and is now legitimately in second spot. Oh. Wow. That was incredible.
Absolutely breathtaking, and once again this race coming down to the wire. Toby's got one more lap to try and get it back, but I don't think he's got the pace. You can see already that Florian is just slowly pulling away. Unless he makes a mistake, he should have second place.
I think so.
Toby, it's got to be said, has fought gallantly for it.
Oh, and I do believe Toby had lifted off on the straight as a gentleman, because he did get into Florian into the final corner in a really late braking move. So I'm going to give him some props for that. But I got to give the credit to our race winner and the guy we've seen the least of here today, Jesper Tallberg, taking a second victory here. I mean, he qualified pole round 1, qualified pole round 2, taking 2 race wins. He started off with an absolutely perfect season. It doesn't get much better than this. The Iceman takes round 2 here at Laguna Seca in the World Touring Masters. Well done to Jesper Tallberg. But the battle, oh no, he missed it! Davis gets back by him through the corkscrew. We missed it! But, oh, Strauss is going to...
Can he get it inside?
This is unbelievable.
He's going to come to the wire, the final corner. Strauss on the inside.
Oh,
there's a bit of contact. And maybe he's going on. Surely he's going to give that one back. He might have to give that one back. I'm sure Toby's going to be up in arms about that one.
Well,
Roy's going to take the position.
We might have missed something at the corkscrew that might have resulted in him wanting to be a little bit rough there. But we've got Davis in third, McGregor in fourth. Coming across the line, Mate Orban with a top 5 finish in the Volvo. Well done to him. And you got Chris Butcher coming across in 5th place with Raul Pereira close in 6th position. Wow. Tommy Ohala in 8th position. Alberto Aznaghi in the BMW M3 in 9th. Oh, Liam, this is unbelievable. Yunt, Bruno Sousa Ferreira. Now we've got back in 12th, we've got Eric Tveit with Ivo Simons just close in tow with him. Simons is really fast through this last sector. Can he make a move by to take the spot? Not going to happen. Tveit is just drifting himself around this track. Oh, I am absolutely spent, Liam. Spent. Oh,
he spoke too soon.
Spoke too soon. He's gone. He done it. Ivo Simons went through in the final corner on Eric Tveit. Wow.
And that's what you get if you carry on, if you just think maybe you've got to become too confident. And that's what can happen. You can see that Tveit showing his dismay. They'll be very upset with himself for that. Hasn't really been his weekend. But does this actually never stop, even after the race?
Yeah, I mean, really, this was something else. This is one for the books. I gotta say, I will really like to see the highlights of what had happened, transpired in the very end of the race there, because that was, we missed what happened, but Strauss did end up getting back. It was a little bit risque, but we don't quite know what happened, so we can't really judge on that. We'll talk to the drivers here shortly, so if you just bear with us, we'll be right back with you in about 2 minutes' time, so please hold tight.
Yep.
Okay, guys, we are back. Thanks for sticking around. I mean, we just saw some of the most incredible racing I've seen in quite some time. I literally thought my voice was going to fall out of my chest in the final couple of laps there. But we are joined now by some of the drivers to get just to talk with them to see how their event went. We don't have the race winner here, Jesper Talberg. I know he so enjoys doing driver interviews. So if he is listening, we wouldn't mind you popping in. But we will take. Well, let's go with Florian Strauss. You had an incredible start, well off the line, hopped out front. But we could definitely see that Talberg was able to keep the tires under him a little better and was able to get by. And I mean, it's hard once he gets some free air out front, it's hard to keep up with him. But your battle with Toby was epic. We caught almost every moment except for the first half of the last lap. Talk to me about how your race went and how the final laps went for you.
That wasn't easy because the car was rolling back, so I have to push the brake and the clutch together. So I expected a very bad start, but seems to be I had a very good one. And after I almost every time I look in the mirror, I saw Torborg, and I know he was more than maybe half a second faster a lap. And I know as he get by, I thought he wouldn't get into the pit, so there was no chance to get him back. So.
Well, to talk to us about how, okay, after the pits, we caught your pit stop. We knew that Toby had pitted a little earlier. When he came up, we caught every moment from the moment you left the pits to when he got ahead of you. Were you you must have known that your tires were going to come in and you were going to have the advantage at the end of the race. Talk to us about the last few laps battling with Toby there.
Yeah, I thought after the pit stop, it seems that I could go a little faster, and I thought it would be much easier in the end to catch him, but it was a very, very hard fight with him.
Yeah, we caught almost every moment of it. We only missed because we missed the first half of the last lap, which I believe you did. Yeah, I saw it on my own screen. You made a small mistake through the kink, headed up to the corkscrew, which allowed you and Toby to switch positions, and then we caught every bit from that moment on, and it made the broadcast look incredible. It was a great battle. I literally was screaming at my monitors because of how great the battling was going. So, I mean, you must be happy with your result coming away with a second.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Very good. Well, Florian, you always you're great to watch your race. Very well done today, and thanks for the interview. Liam, do you want to have a word with Toby and see how his race went?
Yeah, so Toby, it's been a very varied race for you, to say the least. I'm sure that you've got a lot you want to say. So overall, how was your weekend for you?
Well, I mean, I'm still speechless after that battle. I was screaming myself. You know, it was just epic, that battle at the end with Florian. But I mean, I didn't do enough practice for this one. You know, I had other things to do over the last week, which is kind of a shame. So I came in not really expecting much, but I dropped off the track myself. Made a mistake, turned in too early at the kink, took too much undercut, ran wide, and that dropped me behind to fight Talborg and Strauss early on. So decided to save tyres and then tried to do an undercut, but Strauss didn't pit. So I was hoping he'd go to the end because I was catching him at a second and a half a lap, but then he obviously pitted with about 12 laps to go, I think. I guess he went on to mediums. I don't know whether he did or not. I'm sure he can let us know in the chat. But yeah, I mean, it was just an awesome battle from then on, and I mean, I don't really. There was a small tap at the final corner, which obviously we'll look at, but I don't really care if he's got second and I've got third. Third is a great result from where I was thinking I was going to be, and Strauss kind of deserves second anyway. To be honest, I was trying so hard to keep him behind me, but I wanted to do it fairly as well, and I actually flashed him by at one point because I knew I'd pushed him too hard, but managed to get back by. So yeah, I mean, it was just a ridiculous race. I'm sweating. So
well, we were still actually literally sweating in the booth. It was, and I'm sure people at home that were watching and who will see this in the highlights will feel the same way. It looked incredible on camera. So well done, Toby. That was a great run today. I do want to have a word with Matej Orban. Am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, it's correct.
Perfect. I just want to say well done today. You were driving with the Volvo, which I have actually labeled from Season 2, the grocery getter, because it looks like it should be headed to the grocery store to pick up milk and eggs and that. But you did incredible today. Talk to us about how your race went, kind of from the start to finish. You did a great job. So just let us know how your race went.
First of all, it was absolutely fantastic race for me. I have a normal start, then after a few laps there's a crash in front of me. I saw Ivo and Raul spinning. I managed to pass them, and then I just focused on try to keep the car on the track and do not mistakes and bring the car to the finish line. My pit stop strategy I think was good, and I had no mistakes, and then before the last laps I reached Chris. I think he made a mistake, and there's a little traffic, and I managed to pass him too, so I'm pretty happy with this result. I think this is the best result for me.
I think it is too. I did quickly look, and if I remember correctly, this is your best result, and you did it in flying fashion. You look great out there. I know Chris was closing in at the end, so it must have been a little hairy coming up to the end, but well done on closing out a top 5 finish today.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, Liam, you got a word with Chris now?
Yeah, so Chris, I mean, a little bit he told me you had a bit of a problem with your machine before the race, so coming in with not much practice, just how exciting was that for you today? You seem like you had a whale of a time.
Exciting wasn't the word. I think, well, I can't really say my actual thoughts on that, but it was good fun in the end. I did better than I expected. You know, 6th place starting from 11th isn't too bad at all. I think it got me to 4th in the championship, though. Yeah, and it would have been 5th, but obviously a mistake towards the end, which I just can't seem to get away from doing. He managed to get me. The annoying thing was I actually managed to get back on track just ahead of him, but obviously there's quite a lot of traffic around, and I'm not sure who it was, but I think he was trying to get out of the way of Mate, and he just went into the side of me, and that unsettled me a little bit, but I can't really blame him for that. Mate did well to take advantage of the situation and get through.
Yeah, great stuff. And also, going in terms of championship now, you said you should be around 4th position. Do you see yourself maybe being a potential contender, or maybe just looking for a top 3?
I'm looking for 3rd place. That's my target, really. I don't think I'll beat Toby. And Jesper, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I think we all sort of, I think we all sort of overlooked the Supra, to be honest. I know the choice for me was between the 635 or the Sierra. But I just can't quite believe that Supra can go the whole race without pitting and maintain the same sort of lap times as when we're on fresh tyres. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any beating Jesper unless he has some drastic sort of misfortune or quits the league because he finds it too boring or something. I don't know.
Well, he's yeah. I mean, Talberg is he's very very clever, and he's really kind of he's had a perfect season so far. It's going to be tough to beat him, I think, because he has figured out that car and he knows how to make it last the entire race. So we got to figure something out. That's what we got to do, guys. Let's see if we can figure that out. But Chris, well done today. You had a great run, great start too. We caught that at the start. But I just want to say thanks to all the drivers for tuning in. It was a great race, and thanks to all the drivers for racing, and the people for tuning in. So Liam, we got a couple things coming up. The next event is going to be that we have broadcast will be the virtual mini challenge, which is at Curitiba. It'll be this Friday or this Saturday at 23:15 GMT. You can see it up on your screen there. Make sure you tune in. Danny Asbury will be commentating on that event. The following event after that will be the virtual Clio series, and we will be at Poznan for the Poznan event at 18:45 GMT, October 17th, 2012, and that'll be me and Scott Woodwiss on that. The results are up on results.touringproseries.com. I would show them to you, but I don't have screen region set up in the XSplit here for the broadcast, so unfortunately I can't pull that up. But if anybody would like to see them, they are already parsed. The results are up, and currently Talberg is 60 points with Toby Davis at 52. Ross McGregor, who I really would have liked to have spoken with, is in third with 46 points, followed by Butcher, Strauss, Ohala, and Tveit. So we've got a very close battle there from third back. but we still got quite a bit of racing to go. And all you got to do is tune in to TouringProSeries.com/broadcast to keep an eye on all of the racing that we have going on. And if you want to keep up to date with all of the things, the goings on in Touring Pro Series, make sure you like us at Facebook.com/TouringProSeries. All of our updates are there regularly, and I would really like to show you guys the results. I just can't right now because I do not have a screen region set up. So, Liam, thank you for joining us here today. It was a great race. I'm still a little speechless. I'm going to be going over this in my head multiple times as I eat dinner today.
Yeah, Azam, once again, it was a real pleasure, and I just can't wait for the next one.
Oh, for sure. Well, we don't have very long till the next one. All you got to do is tune in 2 weeks' time for the next round of WTM with me and Liam here. Tune in this Saturday for a virtual mini challenge, and the following Wednesday with me and Scott Woodwist for the virtual Clear Series. I'm Keith Barrick, and that's Liam Jenkins signing off. Please make sure you like us on Facebook. All of our details are on the page here. Thanks, and have a good night.